Should Vigano come out of hiding? Welcome to the Thunder and Lightning Show, and we're going to discuss that today. So, Ryan, that's a question for you. What do you think?
Yes, I think that the time has come for Archbishop Vigano to come out of hiding because he has nothing to lose at this point in time. He could lose his life, but then he would be a martyr. He could be subjected to canonical penalties or whatever, but then also he would be kind of a martyr for his cause, for the cause of truth and Catholicism. But I think that most likely he would just be ignored by the Dubia brothers, and he would be able, when he's out in public, I think, be more forceful and rally troops around him. When he first, remember when Vigano first came on the scene and he wrote that letter and denounced Pope Francis because he knew about Cardinal McCarrick and his antics as molesting, and he said that Pope Francis should resign because he told Pope Francis about this. At that time, everybody thought like, oh goodness, he's got to go into hiding, some people are going to kill him, he has all this other secret information, that, that's why he has to be in hiding so he can release all this stuff. But now, in 2021, I think he's already told us everything that he knows. There's no more secrets. There's no more dossiers or whatever. And the fact that he's been in hiding and away from the game for so long, I think it is time for him to make an appearance, to do priestly things, bishop things, to tell us what he thinks about, is he going to cooperate with SSPX, which, on paper he's doing that already, but where does he stand in all this? And he's the closest thing to a Catholic leader that we have now. Maybe Schneider has some more what you'd call clout or gravitas with him, but Vigano is an archbishop, and so there's a lot that he could provide. And so I just think it's time. If he dies, if he's killed, again, he's a martyr. If they suspend him or excommunicate him, he becomes like an Archbishop Lefebvre, and I think he'd be more effective out in the open than he is in hiding, writing letters once a week.
Yeah, and I actually have a similar thought to that. Now, I do want to make a point here. On January 18th, 2020, Vigano made a public appearance. I'm going to put that in quotes, public appearance, because he was with the secret protest of the German bishops. And the secret protest, it was an invitation-only protest that included Roberto Di Mattei, John Henry Weston, Alexander Chishiguel, and Michael Matt. And, what was the point of that protest? But anyway, that wasn't really a public appearance. They tried to hype it up like it was. But these people are in constant contact with Vigano. And here's my thought on Vigano. So he's not hiding in a cave. He's extremely wealthy. He's a multi-millionaire. So he's probably in a mansion with hired security. And if he's not, I don't know. But is there really that much of a risk? I think he's pretty much said everything in terms of what he knows. He's probably released all of it. I don't think he's hiding anything else. So what's the risk of him coming out? What's said is said.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's people waiting outside to gun him down.
I don't think so. If there was something like that, he would have released that information already, or he would have used it as an arm twisting to get something that he wanted, which it doesn't seem like he's gotten anything that he wanted. So yeah.
And So I had a few questions like how would Vigano benefit and how would the church benefit?
Mm-hmm.
And so for Vigano, I think I don't know that he would necessarily benefit either way. I think he would probably benefit more because he would say public masses. It would cause, I don't know if it would cause necessarily a scene, but I think that it would be a big deal wherever he goes. And
yeah, if he says a mass or if he gives a talk, it would be standing room only. People would want to hear what he has to say. And he could go out there and demand again. He's got to put the pressure on Pope Francis and say, you have to resign because you knew about former Cardinal McCarrick and his misdeeds. And you can't hide behind all this stuff. And then, he can also bring up the thing, look, you've been talking about clerical misconduct or whatever. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, which you refuse to address. which is homosexuality in the priesthood and the bishops and amongst the bishops. Let's start talking about that. It'd be like this. Maybe this is a bad example, but you had the presidential election where Joe Biden hid in a basement for an entire year, and Donald Trump did all these shows, and everybody was there, and Joe Biden would go out and, like, you know, stand in front of, and people would be in their cars, 20 people with masks on, and then he would forget where he was and what office he was running for and who his wife was and who his grandchildren are and all this stuff. But anyway, somehow he still won the election. So I don't know, maybe that's a bad example, but Vigano is kind of like Biden hiding in the basement. I mean, if you come out and do a Trump-type show, imagine if Vigano did Trump shows. I mean, he could probably fill up arenas and stuff like that. I mean, you probably have to wait until all this COVID is over, because even the secular authorities wouldn't let you do a Trump-type show. Maybe do it in the South. But, yeah, Vigano could really fire up the troops. And you get out there with your talking points. You're like, Pope Francis is corrupt, part of the New World Order, and ladies and gentlemen, we need to restore the true faith, the traditional Latin Mass. Pope Francis needs to resign. We got homosexual bishops and priests all over the place. And, you know, lock him up. I don't know who, you know, lock up Pope Francis, McCarrick. You know, you can chant, lock him up, and make the Catholic Church great again, you know, slogans and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I think, like, for the church, I think the church would benefit tremendously from Vigano, you know, making public appearances, because he could round up bishops. I mean, he sort of already did with some of the letters that he wrote. He got bishops to sign them.
Lenga, Schneider. I mean, if he could be like, you know how the Democrats have the squad of AOC, Ilhan Omar, Tlaib, whoever that other woman is, they have like the squad. Well, Vigano could have a squad, you know, and they could do appearances and whatever, or go to, I don't know, pilgrimages or something. You'd have Vigano and Lenga and Schneider and the Dubia brothers, the two who are still alive, and, you know, Grisida, Gullickson. So you could cook up. There's 6, 7 guys that I cooked up right there who were on the good guy squad. And Vigano could be like the ringleader here.
Yeah, they could go around saying pontifical high masses. Yeah. Even Cardinal Zen, he got him on board. And, you know, I think with more collaboration, like in person, I don't know about Zen, because I don't know if he'll ever be able to leave Hong Kong. But but you know, you could collaborate more in person, and then maybe someone like Cardinal Sarah would be more on board, because you could pressure them face to face.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it would be a overall positive for Vigano to come out of hiding. I don't want to say he's necessarily a coward. I mean, you can see what impact he's had on the church the last 2 years by staying pretty much in his house the whole time.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think it is time for him to make public appearances. And you know, I don't think he'll watch this video, but I hope that someone can pass the information along if you have contact with Vigano, because a lot of people do in the Catholic world.
Again, what do you have to lose? Okay, your life. Well, we even complain about Pope Benedict being a coward because, is he blackmailed? Why did he quit? Why not just accept the martyrdom? You're the Pope. You're a cardinal after all. I mean, the same thing. Is Vigano afraid of dying at the hands of bad guys? Then you know, to be honest, then, as an old man who's an archbishop, if that's the case, and I don't know whether it is or not, I feel sorry for you. As soon as you became a priest, you should have acknowledged that martyrdom is certainly a possibility. And so and maybe he's afraid of canonical sanctions. You know, were any of the Saint John Chrysostom, Saint Athanasius, you know, Saint Archbishop Lefebvre, were these people afraid of canonical sanctions? No, they're interested in teaching the truth of the Catholic faith and showing the error of bad bishops and bad popes. And so that's your number one priority, not avoiding canonical penalties or whatever.
And quite honestly, I mean, in a bunch of different countries, public masses are banned anyway. So, I mean, what's the canonical sanction? I mean, you know,
you're already canonically sanctioned.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, I think that we request that Vigano make a public appearance. Thank you so much, Ryan.
He should come on this show.
Yeah, well, yeah.
In person.
I think every YouTuber would like to have Vigano on
Archbishop
the show.
Vigano, we would love to have you here in person in a real live show.
We'll invite you to a secret church, and we can record in the secret studio.
This is a secret studio. This is underneath the brick and steel of a nondescript parish office center. Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Ryan. We are the Laity,
And we will not be silent.